Alright guys, so now I'm going to give you a challenge. I want you to style a form that looks like this. It doesn't have to be exact, but something similar that looks pretty decent and clean. So I'm going to give you all the HTML. I'm going to give you even the classes and all the elements we're styling along with some hints. So in this lecture, you should find a file called form styling underscore start.html. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a file called 12 underscore form underscore styling.html. And I'm going to grab everything that's in that start file and paste it in and just go over it real quick. So let me just close this up. And let's take a look at the HTML first. So we have an ID of container that wraps around everything. And then we have a class of form wrap that wraps around the form. Okay, so this part right here, we have an H1, a paragraph, and then in our form, we have some fields. Each one is wrapped in a div with the class of form group. And inside the form group, we have the label. We also have the input. Okay. So we have first name, last name, email, password, confirm password. Then we have a button, which has a class of btn. Okay. Then we have a paragraph, which is this part right here. And underneath the form wrap, we just have a footer that says already have an account login here. So that's the markup for this. Now up here you have everything that's going to be styled, all the styles that I'm going to add along with some hints. So I'm going to go along and just give you some hints here. So as you can see, I actually brought in a font from Google Fonts called Railway. So you want to use that as your font family. I have an asterisk here. It says may want to add border box for box sizing so padding does not affect the width. Okay, we've talked about that quite a bit. We should also reset the margin and padding. In the body, I'm just saying the background color is going to be this right here. Now I'm not saying that that's all you need to put in the body or that's all you should put. It's just a hint. Okay. In the A tags, underlines are ugly, so you probably want to remove those. Container, so remember margin auto on the left and right will center a block element. So you want to center the container and remember margin auto. All right, and I'd also suggest using a max width for responsiveness. You also may want to add some padding. Now the form wrap is the white area around the form, so this whole box right here around the form and the heading and all that. So figure out how to style that. The H1 and the paragraph, you want to center these. Remember the text align property. The form wrap, or the form group I should say, each label and input is wrapped in the form group. So this is a form group, right? So you may want to add some margin separating these. Label should be turned into a block element, okay, because we want the label to be on its own line and we don't want to use line breaks. I only use line breaks to give you guys examples. You don't want to use those in your actual layout. So turn that into a block element so that the next element pushes on to the next line. Inputs should reach across the form wrap 100% and have some padding. By default, inputs are very ugly. They're very thin and it won't go across the whole thing. So you might want to set the width to 100% and add some padding. So the form wrap button, which is this right here, should wrap across 100%. It should also be displayed as a block. Okay, background color is this hex right here. The hover is this color for the button. Let's see, the bottom text is smaller, so you might want to set the font size smaller for the bottom text. Footer, which is this right here, should be centered. So remember text align. And the footer color, the footer link color is this right here. So that's a lot of hints. So I'm going to give you guys this as a challenge to try and recreate this. Okay, and don't just skip it, really try it. If it looks absolutely insane and nothing like this, don't worry about it. Don't get discouraged. It's kind of a tough challenge if you're just learning CSS, but just give it a shot, okay? And then in the next video, I'll go over it and I'll give you all my styling. And it doesn't even have to match mine, okay, as long as it looks decent. So I'll see you in the next video, which will be the conclusion.
living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer.